Shawn, you are live. Does Shawn know he's live?
You hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right. All right. So, whoa. Are we good now? No. Let me. Is that better? Can y'all hear me all right? Yes? Okay, good. All right. So,
yes, we can hear you.
All right, very good. Sorry about that. I was trying to do the computer and the phone Zoom at once so I could try to be clever, but that didn't work out. I'm Shawn Newton. I make fountain pens. I've been doing this since 2012. I've been doing it full time since 2015 when I quit teaching after 7 years. I was an elementary and then a high school art teacher. I really didn't think I would quit teaching to do this full time, especially, fountain pens are kind of old fashioned, right? But I'm able to pay the bills. So I'm blessed, really. So real quick tour of the shop. If I can do this without messing everything up. So when you order a custom pen, we'll email back and forth, figure out what you want. This is the lathe I make that on. Everything on this is one-off. I've got parts up here, for example, for a piston filler pen that I'm making for a client, and I'll get back to that hopefully tomorrow. A lot of the pens I make are made on this machine here. This is my CNC I bought just about a year and a half ago. Year and a half, 2 years, I don't remember. But I can make things pretty quickly on this, and for a little bit lower price than my customs are. So I've got some stuff over here running right now. Oh, Mark, was it the wrong part in the? So this pin here is this part is going to be a section for a prospector, yeah, I hate when that happens too, for Chatterley pens, Bryant Greer, all sorts of materials, parts, tools, dog food, but yeah, I've got lots of stuff available right now. I started making ballpoints in the last year on the CNC here. I've got, I started making a new model on the CNC just the other day, actually. This is the Elizabethan. You can see it's got kind of a curvy barrel and cap. These are all already sold, all that's sold. This is the area where I do my nib tuning and photographs. A little homemade light box. My fancy nib grinding machine here. This thing here. Over here is where I do my sanding and buffing on this old wood lathe. And my shop is basically the laundry room. But we have everything. Everything I have for sale right now, I put on a special website just for today with a 15% discount. The pen sleeves are regular price. Elizabeth makes all of these. But all of this is on the website right now at newtonpens.com/penshow2021. So you can see that there. And that'll be up for the rest of the day. So till midnight tonight, let's say, you'll be able to get something with a discount. that's been a whole 2 minutes. If any of you have any questions at all about anything in here, what goes into pin making, how the process, process goes for getting something custom made, ask away.
Tell us about the red chair that you have there.
The red chair, yeah, that's something I picked up off the side of the road just down this corner from my house. I'm gonna try to strip that down and reupholster that this summer. Or maybe before, once the weather gets real nice. I make flex nib pins. I don't make flex nib pins, but I do offer flex nibs from Pin Realm, Kirk Spear. Here's one right here. Let me show you. Now it's not inked up, but let me see. That's not a lot of pressure to get that kind of variation. This is just a Yovo steel nib that's been modified. Let me see. Pin Realm is on Instagram. And you can buy direct from him or through me. So yeah, Pin Realm for the flex nibs. Yeah, it's got a website too. What else? Okay, I even wrote some notes. Let me just go to those. So I taught for 7 years. I quit that in 2015 to do pins full time. I didn't know fountain pens even existed until my wife bought me one for Valentine's Day in 2009 or 2010. She bought me a Shaper Viewpoint from Hobby Lobby. I've always been into pen and ink and drawing with rotring rapidograph pens, not rotring, Coronor. And so moving from that to a fountain pen was a lot of fun. I got hooked, as a lot of you do when you use your first fountain pen. And so I was buying and spending more money than I really should have collecting. And then I found out about guys making pens in their garages on wood lathes, kind of like that. So I sold a lot of my pens in 2011 and did a Kickstarter to raise money for this, to get started doing this. My initial concept was make a pen, give a pen. Or buy a pen, give a pen. So you'd buy whatever custom pen you wanted, and I would make a twin for it to give to a student. At first, it was just students where I worked at Mountain Pine High School, and a few other teachers at a couple of the other local schools would reach out, and I would make pens for those kids, deserving kids for whatever reason. So I did that for a year or two. When I quit teaching, just before I quit teaching, I transitioned from that to scholarships. What better way to reward hardworking kids than to give them money for college? At first, I was just collecting money, basically. Pin code, when you send me an email, all the purchases will be done through email. For the subject, just say Zoom or something like that, and I'll give you the discount. It's 15%. Shipping is regular price. That the 15% off counts for nib grinds too, if you want a nib grind. Let me see, where was I? I was at scholarships. So at first it was just raising money for scholarships by asking people for money. Gifting. Thank you. Yeah, and I was also gifting a pen to people who donated one of my pens. After a couple of years of that, I started raising money through the sale of notebooks like these. Let me show you these. So all these guys here, these are made by Kernow Bookbinding. Where's his name? Yeah, Kernow, there it is. This artwork is from a student at one of the local schools. This is from a different I had a bunch of different notebooks with different art on them from people who just donated the art. I made a lot of money selling notebooks. And then after a while, I started taking donations. So this is a box of pens. That's a box of pens. Here's a box of pens. This is all stuff people have donated so that I can sell. I sell most of this on eBay, and every penny raised goes to high school students going to college. We raise anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 or $12,000 a year, and just give every single bit of it away. The lighting here is terrible. How do I turn it off there? There we go. Kids will write essays, fill out an application, and we've got volunteers all over the country who read the essays, score them, and based on that and their financial need, we give them, $500, $1,000, $2,000 scholarships to help them out with college. So I'm really proud of that as far as, what we do here. The whole concept really started because of the help that I was given when I graduated high school. If it wouldn't have been for a friend's mom just paying for my first 2 years of college, I probably never would have gone. So that's kind of my way of paying forward the kindness that was given to me is offering these scholarships. Let me see, how do I find the chat for questions? Did the Knit and Pens logo change? The logo is a big round NN. No, I changed the picture on the website, but that's the logo, like on the nibs and on the caps, is still the same. You still sell the notebooks that aren't? Yes, I froze. I still sell the notebooks of student art. Just some of the money from custom pens go to scholarships. Okay, none of the money from the custom pens goes to scholarships unless I make something and put it up on eBay for the auction specifically. The pens are just my livelihood. But I do put up a few pens a year along with everything that's donated for the scholarships. My wait time is about 3 years on a new custom order. No money down, so it makes it easier to put the order in without a deposit. And if you need to cancel or change it for any reason, that's no big deal at all. I do my own nib grinds for people. We do sculpted pens. I've got, I wrote this down, 24 distinct models. Most of them are, more traditional things, and I've got a few sculpted pens, faceted. Triangular Prospector is my favorite one to make. If you put a deposit down, it does not make any difference because I do not take deposits. I will not take deposits. It makes my life easier. You can pay when your turn is up. If something happens and one of us should perish, it makes bookkeeping a lot easier. So no deposits. I'll put your name down on my list. And then I'll get to your turn when I get to your turn. But it's kind of a curse and a blessing having such a long waiting list. There's a lot of people in line. As I'm making things custom on this machine here, I make things on the CNC. I try to produce pins every week. Through that, sometimes I get caught up doing just customs. Sometimes I get caught up doing just production line work. So I'm not the most organized person in the world. So I'm happy that I can keep going as best as I can with that. Let's see. Urushi. Yeah, I'll make pins for Urushi. I'll send them to Jonathan Brooks in South Carolina or Bokomondo in Japan or wherever you want. Really, there's nothing special that needs to be done for those pins. I need to make the threads a little bit looser so that once the threads are built up with Urushi, the parts still screw together nicely. On some of the sculpted pins like the Prospector, all that's done with hand files. All the one-offs are done with hand files. When I work with, thank you. When I work with a production group of pins like the sculpted ones that need a lot of shaping done like that, I will use this machine here. In here, and I can get just the angle just right here. And I'll have this is just a little drill bit, but I have a large cutting tool here to cut the large flat surfaces on, facets for some pins, or the triangular shapes for the prospectors. Let's see. All sorts of stuff in here. The shop's a mess. It is just an absolute mess. Whenever I'm holding a part in the check here to sand it, I'll use these things here, these little mandrels to hold onto the part. And I can work with them easier. That way I can sand the whole part. Let's see, behind the curtains, and the curtains are to keep dust off everything. And yes, they work. Lots of materials, ebonites, acrylics, more ebonite, lots and lots and lots. Clips, blanks, so much stuff. Tools, let's see. Is ebonite more? Ebonite's not really more difficult to machine. It threads beautifully, turns beautifully. It takes more time to sand and to get a good finish on because of how dense it is. But it is definitely one of my favorite materials to work with. And on a sculpted pin, whether it's like the prospector or the, okay, Michael, or the faceted pins, it takes a lot more time to get a clean surface on those flat parts. I do make parts for other pins. I modify pins. I've made barrels for anything from Schaefer's to Deltas to rebuilt Pelicans and Auroras. And I have all that on my website as well. Let me see. This isn't the best through it, but so here's the Mont Blanc 149 I did. I did the cap and barrel on it. Pelicans, Auroras. I've rebuilt entire Auroras. Pilot vanishing points. I actually have one of those. Let's see. So here's a pilot vanishing point I rebuilt. Now the nose cone on this was cracked, which is the only reason I did that. Normally I wouldn't touch the front end. But yeah, this is something I offer. Let's see, I've rebuilt Sailor King of Pins. There's the Mont Blanc, Visconti, some Omos repairs. Let's see. All sorts of stuff. Here's some process photos. So Sailor pulled apart. Pelican, this is what a Pelican looks like with the barrel cut off right here. And this is the celluloid shavings. So yeah, this is something I offer. Every now and then I can do some repairs on vintage pins. I'd rather make new parts than try to repair things. I don't repair cracked parts. Here's an example of a Pelican bin that's just splitting, and it just pulled off actually. But here's some Auroras I did for a guy. A lot of Auroras. Yeah, all modifications are treated the same. So unless you want something that comes off the CNC that I make week to week, everything goes on the waiting list. So it just makes it easier for me to keep up with things instead of having a separate list for separate types of jobs. Tim, Andrew, Fern, any of you guys have anything that you think I should talk about that I've glossed over? Or anybody have any questions or comments about anything?
I just wanted to once again thank you for that Osmia barrel that you rebuilt for me in clear demonstrator. I think it's gorgeous, and And I'm wondering if you're ever going to do another metal overlay.
Actually, you know, I did one with Troy Breeding. He was on here earlier. I'm not doing anything like that. Oh, I can talk about metal parts though. So Troy Breeding is good at this. So this is a pin I started a while back for a client. It is Eve in the garden under the tree, and it's going to have a clip made for it. It's going to have a snake clip, which I'm working on. Yeah, Troy Breeding of Country Made Pins made this for me. So I'm super happy with this so far. But I was working with the jeweler here in Hot Springs on custom parts like that. He even made nibs for me for a while, but that came to an end when he moved to Colorado to become a sheriff. So he is not doing any jewelry work anymore. What I'm doing now is I work in some software on the computer called Blender, and I make parts in there that I can have. Let's see, this is hard to focus. That I can have 3D printed in wax and then cast in sterling, bronze, brass, gold, things like that. And these are a couple of parts that I'm working on right now. When do you make your sections? Do you cut external threads first or last? On sections, I can show you that real quick. And also, I did the clips the same way with the 3D software and then 3D printing. My kids are about to walk on the door. With sections, I do all the internal shaping first. So here's some parts. So this is a section. The internal parts are done. And I'll put it on a mandrel to turn and thread the outside. That part's done last. I'm doing my Zoom. Hey, guys. So like, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Here, come here, do this. You walked in the perfect time. Put that nib in that section. It threads in. Don't pop it in. Don't pop it. Come on, you know better.
Somebody's dog is going to be
Not our dog.
As soon as I got out of the truck, I'm in cars with this.
Family.
As soon as I got out.
Take the shoe off. Don't bring it in.
And it stinks.
Ah, the joy of kids, everybody. I'm on Zoom right now. Come on in. Nah, you stay in. Brick, yeah, there's Brick. He came out to say hi too. Go outside and Sappy. These are our fur babies. Bring it through the house to the yard and wash it off with the water hose. No, stay inside, Brick. I'm doing the same thing. He stepped in dog mess. Close the door.
Don't film me.
Anyways.
No!
Hey, walk through, hurry up.
I'm trying, but I got poop in my hand.
Anyways, let's work over here for a minute. So the section is done. All right. There's the one section. Up here, go there. Yeah. They keep me on my toes for sure. And then I can come over here and select a new file. All right, so the cap will be next. If I were to select, let's see, small second ops for shaping. So the Elizabethan, which is one I just started, you can see the curve in the barrel here. This screen shows me the general shape of half the object. So this shows the curve and the pointy end on the Elizabethan barrel, for example. But for the part that's in the lathe right now, let's go back to where I'm at. Retail, Bryant, no, Prospector. Section cap. So this will be a cap. This shows you the internal boring operations, and this dark white bar here is the threading. This line here is the drilling. So I will start it. Because I'm on the right spot this time, I won't have any problems like I did at the beginning. Give it a little love. And start. as long as I've been doing this, I still find it fascinating too. Yeah, it's just so much fun. I mean, I could sit here and watch. I do sit here and watch this all day. You know, when it's running. I love what I do. I've been doing this since January 2012. I've been making pins, and like I said, I've been doing it full time since 2015. After I quit, my last year was so May 2015. I'm blessed to be able to do something that makes me this happy. Oh, real quick, back to making parts on the computer for 3D printing. I can do all sorts of custom stuff, whether it's custom rings, custom coins, clips. So if you have an idea for something you'd like to see made up for a pin, I'm happy to try to work it out for you. The overlay, if somebody wants an overlay, I'd point you more towards toward breeding for that kind of stuff. So, what else is there? Shawn is related to Strategic Genes. My mom did the genealogy thing, and I'm related to a cousin of Strategic Newton, I think. Actually, Arnie, yeah, for real. Shanti shot the new Elizabeth. Oh, yeah, I need to do that. I think I already did, but let's do it again. So these are the Elizabethans I've made this week. Let's see. These guys are already sold. Hold up the far right. This one. These two here are the only ones that are left available. The rest of them are sold. But I really like the shape of it. Now, usually the pins that join at the cap and barrel here have a big step on them. I can show you one in a second. This one has a very small step. And then you can see this one. This is the Townsend. This one has a larger step. You can see it right there. And then next to the other one, you can see it's the Elizabethan has a smaller step. Yeah, these two here, these are both Nico, which is a Japanese ebonite company. Nico ebonite, these are 200 each for the steel nib. And I wish I had some more in the primary manipulation resin from Jonathan Brooks, but I do not. That stuff is all, that sells out as soon as I start it. That's just about my time. Are there any other questions? Like I said, I've got everything. How long is the blue-green one? So there, I wrote this down earlier. The green and blue one is 133 millimeters open from tip of nib to end of barrel. And I want to say it's 140 millimeters closed. The diameter it's what I call my small size. The barrel threads are 1/2 inch in diameter. You can see all of that stuff on my website. So where am I at? So I think it's just Newton. Here, I can do this. Yeah, newtonpins.com/sizes. If you want to change your material, if you're on my custom order list, yeah, you can just send me an email and tell me what you want, and I'm happy to make the change in my notes. And remember, for anything, everything is on discount. Just when you email me for something, just mention that you watched the Zoom. I'll have the discount up till midnight tonight. 15% off for all you guys. For nib grinds, shipping at regular price. The sleeves and wraps are at regular price. If you have a question about any of those, there's photos on the website. Where is it at? It is newtonpins.com/pinshow 2021. Pinshow 2021. flip it around. So this is actually the Earl. So everything's on here. All the trade. This is what's current as of today. Ballpoint. Yeah, sure. I don't have anything else going on today. I might go out and do a little bit of yard work. We built some planter boxes yesterday. But if you have questions, email me, and if you email me by today, I'll give you the discount, even if we don't go through with a purchase until tomorrow or the next day. 'Cause, you know, we got to eat sometimes. So, all right, thanks, Tim. But yeah, if you want something at the discount, just send me an email. We can get started talking, even if it takes a couple of days. So, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed watching all your other videos this morning and throughout the day. It's been a blast. I feel like I mostly rambled, which is what I'm mostly good at.
No, you were good. You were
You're
good.
real good. Yay.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right.
Shawn.
Okay, thanks.
All
Bye.
right.